Ready? Okay. So the first news item that you see, that's about the Tamil Nadu governor case. Yes? So actually it's an old case about which Supreme Court is again talking about. Okay. What is the case? So there was this governor of Tamil Nadu and the state government of Tamil Nadu. There is some tussle between these two, governor and state government. Now what do you think when state government is passing some bill in their state assembly? Okay, when they pass the bill, it reaches out to governor. What do you think? Governor is supposed to sign it? Yes? Or can he cancel it out, like saying that I can't sign it, you have to reconsider it? He can do that? Yes, all his powers are there. When we talk about governor, we specifically see these powers. So for example, there's this article 200 of the Constitution which says governor may assent to the bill, that means sign it, withhold assent, reserve it for president and return the bill except the money bill. If it is money bill, in that case he cannot return the bill, he will have to sign it. But if we remove this money bill aspect, then we can see he can give assent also, he can say you have to reconsider also, he can cancel it out and send it to the president also directly. Now the point is, all of these things he can do, but there is no timeline which is given in the Constitution. This is one thing. Now something happened in case of this Tamil Nadu. In 2021 to this 2023, in this timeline, Tamil Nadu State Assembly passed some of the bills. They passed the bills and the bills reached out to the governor. Right? He was supposed to take some action, whether to say yes I'm signing it, or to give it back, or to send it to the president. Interesting thing, he did nothing. Governor did nothing, no action at all. When State Assembly realized that they are not taking any action, governor is not doing anything, what they did after some time, they repassed all those bills again in the State Assembly. Now normal convention is you pass the bill, he rejects the bill, after that you pass again, then he will have to pass it, right? But the point is here he is not taking any action and there is no timeline mentioned in the Constitution. So somewhere it very much clear that governor is misusing his power, that not taking any action because nothing is written. So that's how you are trying to ensure that the State Assembly doesn't work at all. He deliberately is doing this thing, that State Assembly should not work at all. Right? So this was something that was happening. So when they repassed all those 10 bills, after this what governor did, then he said I'm sending this to president consideration. This action he should have taken earlier. Now when the assembly has passed it second time, now he said I'm sending it to president. So again misusing the articles. Right? Now after all these incidents, the State Assembly of Tamil Nadu or the government of Tamil Nadu, they reached out to Supreme Court. And what Supreme Court said, this is clear-cut misuse of the power and here you are not letting this assembly work which goes against the democratic principles. So Supreme Court, they came up with something new. They said first of all we are fixing the timeline. Okay, now this is not something that Supreme Court should do. This is the task of legislature or executive, setting any timeline or something, because Constitution doesn't give anything as such. So it's the Parliament who should pass a law in which they should write down these timelines, within how many months who should pass a bill or sign it and all. But because there was nothing and misuse was happening, so Supreme Court provided some timeline that within 1 month you have to give the assent, within 3 months, etc., etc. One more thing that they did is they assumed that these 10 bills which were repassed by this Tamil Nadu Assembly, now they said we assume it as being already signed by the governor. Okay, so this is something very interesting that has happened in this particular case. Now what is happening? Now when people are questioning, is it the same thing now that is going to happen every time? That if such incident happen again and again, are we going to have same situation in India? Supreme Court is saying this was a rare case, and because it was rare case, it was emergency, so we had taken this action. It is not supposed to be a precedent as such. Okay, that's what they are simply saying. Clear? Now out of all these, now this incident continued for a very long time. What we can grab from this issue, the core problems that are existing in India right now are, number one, there is tension between governor and the state government. And this happens mostly whenever at the state level there is different political party and at the central level there is different political party. So in reality what is happening is, actually there is no problem between governor and state assembly. If you say in reality, in constitutional terms, there is no conflict. The real conflict is this party politics. Because there are two political parties involved and they have fight in between themselves. The problem is, every party wants to show that they are better and they also want to try that other party should not perform better. So one side will try, you should not work. Even if they are passing the bills, you're trying, their bills should not get assent, so that their work should not seem to be doing really good. So next time in the elections, they should not perform better. That's what is happening. That's very obvious in party politics. Every party will try that you should work better, I'll work better. But this party politics is getting involved in these constitutional things, creating constitutional deadlocks. This was a deadlock. You're passing the bill, he's not taking any action. This is a deadlock created in the constitutional mechanisms. Getting it? And here you see the role of governor. Governor is supposed to be very neutral, very impartial. But in reality, this doesn't happen in India. So this is a very negative example set by the governor over here. While writing answers, when you write something negative about governor, you can directly mention this incident, Tamil Nadu case. Okay? Then second is democratic deficit. Democratic deficit means the democratic principles, those are not given importance in this. What is more important is the bill which is passed by the representatives of people. People's representative pass some bills. And governor is stopping that. That means you're stopping the people's will. What people want, you're stopping that. So this is democratic deficit. Third problem, this is constitutional problem, that in our constitution timeline is not mentioned. So you're giving somewhat a pocket veto, we call it. That veto is something you can say no. Someone gave you a bill, you're saying no. That is called veto. But there's another veto called pocket veto. You put your hands in the pocket and say, I'm signing it. 2 months, 6 months, 2 years, I'm signing it. This is called pocket veto, which is given because constitution is silent. So this is one problem wherein you can say we need some amendment, we need some changes in the constitution, right? And the role of judiciary is very clear in this incident. All these incidents happened. At the end, it was judiciary who could sort it out, right? So you can understand the importance of judiciary in ensuring even when there is any constitutional blockage. In that case, it is judiciary which can sort it out. Okay? So if there is question related to judiciary, then also this is good example to bring in. If it is related to democratic deficit, then also it is good. Center-state relation or governor, anyway you will talk about this example. Okay? Good example to write in the answers. Fair enough? Yes. Then next article, which one is important? Yes, India-China. Now, although they haven't mentioned anything special as such, they just like this Mr. Wang Yi. He has visited India, right? He's on a visit and we are discussing something. Now, this is somewhere what is happening, you have to see in regard to what's happening with India and US relationship. Right? Suddenly this tariff issue has created some problem between India and US relationship. Somewhere India is trying to balance its relations with other parties, like in this case China, and India is trying to ensure that its relations with respect to BRICS, SCO, those are also maintained. Now this incident has clearly shown us one thing, that nobody can be trusted completely. Right? India is tilting towards America to a good extent. But then suddenly see Trump's actions, which show that you can't completely trust or rely on someone. And then you go to China's side, but you can't rely on China also. So somewhat, eventually it's your interest. You have to protect yourself. Nobody is going to be your friend as such. There is a saying in international relations that no country is your permanent friend and no country is your permanent enemy. In international relations, what matters is your permanent interests. You have some permanent national interest. That's it. Okay. Now this person came and he's saying, please come to China for this SCO summit. We will have good relations. We are trying to build good relations. All these things are happening. So we will wait for something concrete to happen. Okay, nothing concrete has happened till now. If something very interesting happens, let's say India, China go for some agreement, let's say the trade boost or something new happens, then maybe we can discuss it in detail. Okay? Then moving ahead. Next, reach to this editorial. Yes, there is an article on MS Swaminathan. Yes, that's about the Green Revolution. So, any idea who was MS Swaminathan?
Yes, sir, he's father of Green.
Yeah, father of Green Revolution in India. What is Green Revolution?
That means raising the field varieties, seeds.
Very good. So, what did we actually increase in reality?
That means the production will be increased.
Production of what?
Rice, wheat.
Only wheat, rice, or something else also? See, there are so many grains.
Yes, sir.
So did we increase the production in wheat and rice only or other things also?
It's also, sir, agriculture. Like what we eat, daily consume.
Okay. Now see, if we see the history part, 1947 onwards, we were very poor, we said. We were poor and we were facing many challenges. One of that problem was problem of hunger and possibility of famine. The food production that we had at that time, that was not sufficient for the population we had. So food production is not sufficient, and if you try to just give them this much food items, then many people will die because of hunger, because of this famine that might take place. In history, if you read modern history, in Britishers' time we have seen that Bengal famine, which killed so many people at that time. And there was a possibility of such famines, recurrent, frequent famines in India, because the food production in reality was very low. So at that time what India was doing, India was importing food items, like let's say wheat. So there's this variety of wheat called PL 480 something, right? This wheat variety we were taking from USA. Now we were importing, we were paying a lot of money, and we were dependent on USA at that point of time, because of this one thing. And in geopolitics, this is one problematic thing. So let's say you wanted to go ahead with USSR, you want to tilt towards USSR, but you don't have wheat, and for wheat you have to go to USA. So many problems. Now this was the core problem, wherein we got one solution. The solution was in science or some innovation. So there's one person called as Norman Borlaug. Okay. He started something called Green Revolution. So he, with his research and development, he came up with some new kinds of seeds, new seed varieties, which can give more yield. Yield means production will be more. Let's say with normal seeds, I can grow 10 kgs of wheat over here. But in the same soil, with some new qualities or new high yielding variety seeds, if I grow them, instead of 10 kg, I can grow 50 kg of wheat. Right? So this is coming from the research and development part, technological innovation part, right? So this he did in 1960s, for which he got Nobel Peace Prize, and we call him father of Green Revolution in the entire world, right? Now as far as India is concerned, we call MS Swaminathan as the father of Green Revolution in India, because he is the person who collaborated with Norman Borlaug and brought some such high yielding variety seeds in India. You need to understand, you can't just bring some seeds from some place, let's say from Mexico or something, and put it over here in India. You have to check India's agroclimatic region. That seed variety should suit to the land of India, to the climate of India. So you have to make such a variety. That is the innovation part. So MS Swaminathan with Norman Borlaug, collaboratively, they came up with such high yielding variety seeds. Okay, and this was brought in India. Now government decided we will use these seeds in those areas where agriculture is relatively in a better condition. Okay, where there is irrigation facility available, because these seeds needed chemical fertilizers, they needed lot of water, irrigation supply, and in India not everywhere you will find good irrigation supply available. So there were very few states, very few areas like Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, some part of Andhra Pradesh also, where these irrigation facilities were available in the right manner. Rest of the part of India, it was not available. So what they did, what the government did, they introduced these varieties of seeds only in these areas. And the results were shocking. Earlier, India was this food crop deficient country. We had very less food crops. Now, because of these high yielding variety seeds, the production increased so much that we became self-sufficient. We did not need any food crop from any other country. We had to import nothing. And after some time, we became so strong, now we can even export. Okay, so this high yielding variety seeds changed everything for India, and majorly that crisis got handled because of this. So you see, the crisis is actually about the food item, right, faced by every Indian. For the Prime Minister or something, for them it's a political problem which they had to solve. It's a geopolitical problem also, and it's sorted out with science. Okay, so how science, policy and agriculture, these three things can come together. So this green revolution is the best example of that. Clear? So that's what they are also talking about. So this article specifically talks about MS Swaminathan and his role. So all these things he did. After that, he also pushed for some changes in India's policies. For example, he said there should be this MSP system. Yes, we provide this MSP, minimum support price we provide. So he pushed for such reforms. He said for fertilizers, some subsidies should be provided, right? Because fertilizers are needed, production will increase because of that. That he did. Then he said, with this MSP system, you are coming up with all these grains and all. Now we should have FCI, the government agency, which should procure or buy all these wheats or rice, etc. from farmers. Okay, all these are the suggestions given by him. He was pushing the government to take all these actions. All these actions are already taken by government. Okay, so this shows his role was quite important in India's journey. This is something they are trying to show. Now, if we see the concerns we have right now, even if we had gone for green revolution, still the agriculture faces some major problems. Number one, this green revolution was focusing on wheat and rice. Okay, the production of these two crops increased. Okay, now the problem is, now these two dominate a lot in India right now. If you see the crop production and all, wheat and rice production is highest, and we are neglecting other things like the pulses or any coarse grains, the millets, etc. That is one problem. Clear? So this is something we need to focus on. This crop bias we need to remove. Then there is regional imbalance. We said green revolution we implemented only in few areas or few states. Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, they are doing really good. In terms of agriculture, they are doing really good. What about rest of the country? Agriculture we have in rest of the country also. But they are not performing good because we did not go for green revolution in that area. Right? That imbalance is there where we need to focus on. Then environmental impact. We brought these seeds, these needed fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, more irrigation. So because of this, what happened? You needed a lot of water. So in the region of Punjab, Haryana, so these are not the regions where a lot of water is available as such, groundwater. And you have taken all of that, substantial part of it. So the groundwater level has gone down in Punjab and Haryana specifically. Okay, and because of this fertilizers and all, the quality of the soil, that is degrading. Now what is happening? Earlier, let's say you were putting this much of fertilizer to grow, let's say 10 kg of wheat. Now you need to put this much of fertilizer for the same amount of wheat to be produced. Okay, that's how you are observing the soil quality is getting degraded day by day. So this is again one environmental problem that we face. Okay, and in long term, Problems like this monocropping, what farmers are doing, they're just going for cropping just one thing. Let's say only wheat. Every year only wheat, no changes. Now this is not good for soil also. This is not good for our economy also, because the supply of some items will not be there. Right? So these are problems. Nutritional quality problem. If you keep on eating only wheat or only rice, what about your body? Your body needs different nutritions. You need millets also. You need other things also. Right? So this is one problem, and this is the kind of farming which is completely unsustainable. This will continue for some time. You will earn really good, but it is not sustainable. Making sense? So good article. You can even read this article once. It's a good article. Yes, next. There's some data given. Yes, yesterday I talked about this vesting, stunting, etc. What is stunting? As compared to age? Yes, we said according to your age, your height should be of some kind. Let's say you're of 5 years age, we expect your height should be this much. 10 years, your height should be this much. But as compared to your age, your height is low. That is something we call as stunting. Right? Now, if you see the data shows that there is no good reduction in the numbers when it comes to stunting. Government had this target that by 2025 the numbers will be 22%. Only 22% people will be having this issue of stunting. But in reality the number is somewhere around 38, 35, 37. So we don't see much improvement. That's what the data shows from this particular article. And they have talked about some reasons behind this issue of stunting. That means your height is stunted. So there are some reasons. For example, they say teenage pregnancy is a problem. So some people, they get married earlier, then the pregnancy also in early age, that is problematic. When in this age group, 15 to 19, in this age group, if you're going for childbearing, if you're going through the phase of pregnancy, that is not good for the child also, and the child is more or less going to face this problem of stunting. Okay? Then because of this, later on what happens is child develops this something issue called anemia. Women also develops, child also develops. What is anemia? What? Blood? Yes, it's related to blood, but what exactly? Yes, who said red blood cells? Yeah, is it reduced or increased? What?
Anemia means RBC count will be decreased.
Very good. So there's something called red blood cell, and which is reduced. What does red blood cell do?
Red blood cells will increase the production of
No. See, in our body there are different cells. One cell or one specific cell in our blood is red blood cell. What is its task? Its task is whatever oxygen that you are taking through your nose reaching to lungs and all, it has to not purify, it has to take that oxygen and give it to every single cell in your body. See, every single cell in your body needs that oxygen. It has to take it, carry and give it to everyone. Okay? That's the core task. Okay? But if these RBCs are reduced, very less in number, that means this oxygen, you will take oxygen but it will not be supplied to every part of your body. That's the main problem. So when oxygen is not reaching to every cell of your body, your cell is not able to produce that energy. So you will also feel, I don't have energy. In this, people having anemia, they'll feel this every single day. Okay? So anemia in children in this age group, anemia in mothers in this age group, then nowadays people go for this cesarean delivery. So there also this risk increases of stunting in children. Then if you give birth to a child and you do not provide this breastfeeding for initial few months, like 6 months. So that breastfeeding is very important because that milk carries a lot of nutrition, and if child is not getting that nutrition in its early age, then it can lead to the problem of stunting. Okay? Then After this, first 6 months it needs that milk. After that 6 months to 23 months it needs at least basic diet. If it is not getting that basic diet, then also stunting can happen. And then households where there is no toilet facility and all, then what happens is rising number of diseases, different diseases, that also affects. More or less all these are the factors combinedly affect children, and because of which we see stunting and all happening. Okay, no need to remember all these things, just observe. In case there is any application based question, your mind should be able to think in different way. Okay, any doubt on this? Huh? Caesarean delivery. This is not Cascadian effect of economy. Okay, good question. Yes. Yes, any doubt on this? Okay. Next is the article. Where is it? This is about industrial policy recommendations. So, where is this article? There are two things actually. One is this GST related stuff. They have given a good data about what kind of impact this GST reform can have. So basically they talked about government is planning to make changes in the GST slabs. So 3%, 5%, 12%, etc., all these things. Right, if you want to read it, you can read it. I personally will feel that let government do that reform. After that I'll get major understanding of this issue. This reformist or scholars suggest that this is a very good time to go for such reforms, especially when this Trump tariff is going to hit us very badly. Our exports will be hit. So in that case, we have to see our exports are hit. So what we will do as a solution, because we need money, simple. So we will find out different markets in the world where we can sell. So now we will go for some other free trade agreement with different countries and all. That is one solution. But that will take time. But our export is getting hurt just now. So right now we are hurt. That's a major problem. Later on we will have FTAs with some other countries. We'll increase more trade with other countries. We'll earn more money. Right now it is getting hurt. So one way is you increase the demand in our country. Domestic demand. Right? This is one way. Now they are saying that this is a good time because right now we can go for some reforms in India through which if we can increase the demand, if you reduce these GST slabs for many items, when you reduce it, the price of that product will get reduced. Let's say for this mobile phone, let's say they reduce some amount of GST slab. Suddenly its price will reduce. So more people will buy, simple. If more people buy, demand increases. More people are going to make it. So the economy will grow over there. That's the idea. So that's the reason they are saying this GST reform the government is planning. That's a good thing. And they are saying it coincides with Deepavali. Now the dimension of Diwali is very important. You need to understand India's market, whatever the market makes or whatever demand you see in the market throughout the year. You compare throughout the year and you compare Diwali sales. Diwali sales will be always at peak. So in Western countries, it is at the time of, let's say, Christmas. In India's case, it is about Diwali. So Diwali economically is very important. Okay, demand is at its peak, I'm telling you. Okay, so that's what they are saying. We are very close to Diwali now, and government is planning for this GST reform also. So this is like they are thinking about this is the right time. Anyway, whether they are doing it by choice or by compulsion, that is something different we need to think about. Okay? And after that, this next article, action plan needed to distribute industries evenly across states. So they are talking about industries, the manufacturing industries specifically. What is the core problem with India's industries? Can anyone tell me? Okay, is our manufacturing sector doing good or bad? It's good. Very good. Good. Not so good. Not as per my expectation. Yes, option 1, 2, 3. Good, very good. Not as per expectations. Not as per expectation. Why?
produced from the industry will also impact the economical status of the people. If the middle class people are there, in other countries they can buy the goods which we are getting goods at the same price in the China or anywhere. But in our country, if we want to buy certain things, it will have certain tax compared to those things. We will have more tax.
So whatever coming from other country, we also put some tariff, na? There is tariff. Trump is putting, we are also putting. Then?
Cheaper. She's saying they are coming.
Okay, they produce at a cheaper price. China produces at cheaper price. That's what your argument is? Okay, block their products, you make on your own. Then, why can't you make cheaper? That is also a good question. China can make, why can't you make at cheaper price? We are similar to China, na? Then, rather people over here in India will...
Most of the people are engaged in agriculture.
Very good, that's valid point. But then, is it the answer for the manufacturing sector not performing well? Actually, manufacturing is not performing well, that's why people are in agriculture. If I give you job, a good job in manufacturing, why would you work in agriculture? They're paying very less also.
No infrastructure.
No infrastructure. Hey, there is a lot of infrastructure. You have infrastructure to build high-tech city. You don't have infrastructure to build manufacturing sector. Yes?
Scholars are from there, yes. They go to other countries.
So yes, we can say it's not up to the mark. It should have been better, but somewhere, if we see our trajectory also, we focused more on service sector. What we should have done ideally when we were more focusing on agriculture. Initially, we were agriculture-based economy. When we were transitioning, we should have gone to manufacturing and then we should have gone to service sector, step by step. What India did, we directly jumped to service sector. We didn't focus on this industry part. Agriculture to directly service sector. Our service sector is doing phenomenal, undoubtedly. We can say this because we're like, if you see the India's GDP, maximum money is coming from the service sector. Not just IT, it's overall a service sector. IT is just one part of it, right? There is no problem with that. Service sector is so good with it, and service sector always remains good. But service sector cannot give jobs, so many jobs, which manufacturing can give. And because manufacturing has not got established in the way it should have got, that's the reason maximum people are working in agriculture. 50%, almost 50% people are working. Somewhere, yes, government came up with Make in India project, all those projects, but that did not work out the way it should have been, or what we expect from government or they should have brought in. So we need more FDI. You said infrastructure, we need to provide more infrastructure at low cost. More investment is needed. All these things are needed for sure. Okay? So let's hope government will do something on this part. Now one thing we need to focus on, or this article talks about, is one problem with our manufacturing industries is it is very unevenly distributed. That means very few areas, there you will find all the major industries, and rest of the part of India, no industries at all. Right? Especially, for example, some industries, let's say in Jharkhand, in one particular area, there you will find some industries. Rest of the Odisha, Chhattisgarh, you will hardly find industries. Most of them located, let's say, in Maharashtra, Karnataka, or let's say Tamil Nadu. These are the places where industries are highly located. So the point is, there are some pockets where industries are concentrated. So many industries are there. And rest of the part of India, no industry. Okay, you need industrial jobs in those areas also. Otherwise, many other problems will also be created. This migration problem. See, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana, these are relatively more advanced, more industrialized, right? They have jobs to provide. UP, Bihar, not so industrialized. Jharkhand, not so industrialized. What will people do there? They'll come here. Either they have to work in agriculture or come here. No option, right? So overall, this article also specifically talks about this nature wherein we have concentrated in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, all these states. Since many years, we have focused on these areas only and their industries have grown. What about the remaining part? Many states, they lag behind. Okay, so they're not just talking about manufacturing sector growing, they're talking about overall India, where in some area where there is no industrialization. Look at Northeast. Do you see any industry? Forget industry. Do you anyway see any city in Northeast? If I talk about, tell me the name of cities in South India. You'll tell me 5, 10 easily like this. Tell me cities of Northeast. Maximum you remember, sir, this Guwahati something. After that we don't know because there is no city. How come you will tell me? There we hardly find. For city to develop, at least there must be some industries, right? That urbanization, that process has to take place. So this is what they are talking about. Okay, and this industrial policy, or this what we call as industry as a subject, it is a state subject. Even if it is a state subject, central government has to take action because there is so much disparity. If we want to bring parity, then central government will have to take some action. Otherwise, Maharashtra will grow, Gujarat will grow, Tamil Nadu will grow. Others will never grow in industrial part, and their population is rising more. Tamil Nadu's population and UP's population, you can't compare. So actually industries are needed there. Unfortunately, they are here. Getting? So that's it. Any doubts? Yes, ma'am. Any doubt? No? Okay then, thank you so much.
క్లాస్ అయిపోయిందా న్యూస్ పేపర్ క్లాస్ వెళ్ళిపోయారు. సుమన్